Now, here's the latest from Fox 11 Sports.
Packers have won the last two games, but they've done it in fairly nerve-wracking fashion by getting down early in the game, only to have a furious comeback to get the win. Well, the comebacks are nice, but it's really tough while it's going in that first half. Against Dallas, the Packers managed only a long Mason Crosby field goal before the half. They were down 26-3 going into the locker room at halftime. Packers had the same old problems. Couldn't protect the quarterback, and they could not sustain drives. They continued to struggle. Luckily, they were able to turn it around in both games, but the Packers would like to sustain that from the beginning instead of having to jumpstart it in the second half.
And the no huddle just really wasn't clicking for us. We got back to some basic things, and you know, our guys played extremely well. You know, we got some momentum. You know, it started on the first play of the second half, got that first drive down there for a touchdown, and we just kept building from there.
Just the first play of the half, we got that big run by Eddie, and that just kind of ignited us, and we were able to score on that drive, which was big, get a touchdown. And then we just, you know, we got some confidence, we kept on playing, everyone stuck together, and we made a bunch of plays.
Well, congratulations to Jeff from Green Bay. 14-2 this week, and with a number of upsets going there. Good pick in there, Jeff. I went 9-7 in the Fox 11 Football Challenge. Jeff gets a cool NFL on Fox hat. You, too, can still win new prizes, new game every single week on fox11online.com. UW Green Bay men hoping for a little home cooking for the next little while. 5 straight games at home. Final 2 being the first 2 games in conference play. That's the first week of the new year. Tonight against Tennessee Tech. It's a team that beat the Phoenix last year. Tonight, though, a different story. Tight game, first half. Oh, look out. Tied late in the half. The swat by Jordan Faust. That starts going the other way, and that ends up with a 3-pointer for Alec Brown as he hits it. But in the second half, it became a runaway. The Phoenix won in a 38-3 run. Greg Mays with the alley-oop. And then, hey, how about this? Not a replay, but another alley-oop dunk. The Phoenix get the win. 76-49 is your final. High school hoops now. Marquette bound Sandy Cohen and Seymour taking on Shawano. First play of the game, an alley-oop here. Oski to Cohen for the basket. But Shawano came to play. Travis Geenan. Watch him hit the 3 from the corner. Seymour may have been favored in this one, but Shawano gets the upset. 49-48 the final. Shawano taking the win. Xavier and FVL in the Eastern Valley. Matt Kinderman gets the basket for the Hawks. Going baseline. And for the Foxes, Derek Ashman in the corner. Lines it up, hits the 3. This went to double overtime in double OT FVL. Coming back and getting the win. 80-75 your final. Oshkosh West traveling to Appleton East. Allison Nelson getting it going for the Wildcats on the other end. Right there from the corner. Bang. Just before the end of the first quarter, though, watch Myra Villagomez working inside, up, and yes, just before the buzzer. Sarah Heckman then adds a 3 from the top of the key. Patriots get the win, 38-34. Fox River Classic, Green Bay West, Green Bay East. Go Red, they say. Well, first quarter, Wildcats Emily Belonga with the jumper. That's a 2 and a 4-point West lead. More Wildcats. Check out the defense. Pushing the ball up the court, and Samantha Norbeck getting the pass to Beth Solway for the basket. East, though, staying in it. They do a little fast break of their own, but West holds on to win it. The final 39-36. And that Seymour-Shawano game. Seymour is quite a strong team this year with a lot of guys going to play college basketball. And Shawano, big win for them. Congratulations to them.
And a lot of close games tonight.
Yes, indeed. Good night for hoops. Your all-access pass continues right here on Fox 11 as the Packers in the playoffs. You know, Packers offensive coordinator Tom Clements said today it was business as usual with Aaron Rodgers back at the helm this week, that the quarterback stepped right back into his preparation and game day performance as well. Well, one of the things that just keeps rolling was the relationship between Jordy Nelson and Aaron Rodgers. The wide receiver has still continued to put up big numbers. Rodgers today said on his radio show Nelson was very ill on Sunday, throwing up on the bus to the airport after the game, but still managed 10 receptions for 161 yards. Nelson has had a great year despite the musical quarterbacks, and it has not been lost on his head coach.
I mean, I think Jordy Nelson is the perfect picture of how you want your offense to play. I mean, he sees the same player week in and week out. He prepares the same way Monday through Saturday. he's the same guy who comes to work every day. And as far as your interaction, there's just such a steady, disciplined line of consistency to him. And you know, you can see the relationship that him and Aaron have. They're on the same page, and you know, he's having another great year.
Packers are happy to have 3 big-time receivers now back on the field. Jordy Nelson with 10 receptions for 161 yards. James Jones, 6 receptions. Randall Cobb had only 2. Oh, but those were 2 pretty big ones. 2 touchdowns, including the game winner with less than a minute to go. Well, tomorrow, a big day for Wisconsin football. They'll hit the field in Orlando. It's Capital One Bowl tomorrow at noon. The team will be taking on South Carolina as the Badgers try to knock off a top 10 team. Now, the Badgers had a couple of tough losses to drop them out of BCS Bowl contention, but they know they'll have their hands full with the Gamecocks. They're hoping to be able to score early and often.
If they're going to, stack the box, we got to make sure to, keep them honest and hit a couple of bombs over the top. So we missed a couple of the past couple games, and that might change the game. So you got to make sure whenever you take a shot, you got to land it, and that'll definitely help out. The run game and the pass game, they kind of go hand in hand.
They like to run the ball first, and we've seen that in a lot of teams this season. I think Ohio State a little bit, and BYU as well.
Well, here, the governors just like to try to get on the action as well. In fact, Scott Walker and South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley have a friendly little wager going. Governor Walker has offered up, of course, some beer, some brats, some good Wisconsin cheese. Should the Badgers lose, he will have to pay up. But if South Carolina loses, Governor Haley will send some South Carolina-made beer and a little bit of Southern barbecue. Sounds good. Well, the Phoenix women's basketball team will host Maine on New Year's Day at 1 o'clock at the Crest if you'd like to head on out for some New Year's Day basketball action. The men start Thursday night at home against Cleveland State. It's the opener of their conference season. Now, the Phoenix will start their conference season at 9-3 in non-conference, a very successful non-conference season. Head coach Brian Wardle told me today he has been pleasantly surprised, particularly with the offense so far this year. Is very happy with that fast start. However, it is the end of the year where you really need to get hot.
Yeah, I think it's the best we've played in non-conference since myself and my staff kind of took over. And so that was good to see that we've made another step in progress. But I've said it in years past, and I'll say it again, it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
From a progression standpoint, my freshman and sophomore year, we wasn't in this position where we won 9 games and lost 3. I think we were always fighting our way back to 500 at this point. So for a progression standpoint, I'm very happy with where we are right now.
Also getting some notice are the Phoenix, the men's mid-major poll. You can see Wisconsin, Green Bay coming in at number 7 overall. Wichita State leading those mid-major polls, and big-name teams like Gonzaga as well as Princeton, St. Mary's, some of those other WCC teams. So they're looking good. They go up against Cleveland State, though, on Thursday. It's one of the other top teams in the Horizon League.
Good evening to you, and thanks for joining us tonight. Green Bay has 6 days to prepare for San Francisco.
Yeah, step 1 in the playoffs, and sometime before the team returns to practice Wednesday, they'll have to be focused on the 49ers. Kind of tough to do, Drew, because beating the Bears the way they did felt pretty good to all concerned.
Well, they were very excited, certainly last night coming home from Soldier Field. And after the disaster of Thanksgiving earlier in the season, the Packers were not even supposed to be in this position, trailing 2 teams in the standings. Managed to make it to a winner-take-all game against the Bears. And what happened in Chicago was something Mike McCarthy says will be replayed for the rest of his life, especially in his mind, but anytime he's around. Packers were down a point, had already converted 2 fourth downs when they faced a third with less than a minute to go. Aaron Rodgers, back after 55 days out with a broken collarbone, evaded the blitz and found Randall Cobb for the game-winning score, knocking the Bears out of the playoffs and putting the Packers in. Last night, fans congregated at Austin Straubel Airport to welcome the team back after being the NFC North Division rivals. There's Randall Cobb coming home. Also, back in action, quarterback Aaron Rodgers right behind him. Players high-fiving the fans as they returned back home to get back to work to take on the Niners on Sunday at 3:40, a game you can see right here on Fox. Head coach Mike McCarthy spoke to the media moments ago. Said yesterday was fun, but it's time to put it behind him and move into playoff mode.
It's back to business. We have a midnight roll here, and I'm sure some guys went past midnight last night, but it was a great plane ride home. It's playoff time, and we're focused on the 49ers today. It feels good today because it obviously just happened yesterday, but it's the finest one I've ever been a part of.
Well, to keep to all the up-to-the-minute announcements and developments of the Packers' most recent playoff run, our all-access pass includes fox11online.com. Go there, click on sports. We've got photo galleries and updates all throughout the day with Packers news. It'll keep you in the loop all playoff week. We'll also stay with Fox 11 leading up to the game on Sunday for your all-access pass and the Packers playoff run. We'll have special programming all week long, including special playoff reports starting on New Year's Day, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. We'll also have Locker Room Live right after the Packers 49ers game live from Lambeau Field on Sunday evening. And coming up at 5:30, oh, they're getting ready. I'll be over there at the bar on Holmgren Way, already filling up, as Randall Cobb will be my co-host tonight on Inside the Huddle. We'll be talking about his return to the field and the game-winning touchdown. Can't get any better than that, can you? It's 5:30 on Inside the Huddle. I better get over there. All that's coming up in just 25 minutes on Inside the Huddle. We'll see you then.